On July 20th, 1969, the world watched in silence as a human being stepped onto the surface of the moon for the very first time. Chapter 1. A Boy Who Loved the Sky. Neil Armstrong was born on August 5th, 1930, in Wapakoneta, Ohio, in the United States. From a very young age, he was fascinated by airplanes and the sky. His father often took him to air shows where he watched aircraft soar through the clouds. Those experiences sparked something powerful in the young boy's imagination. While other children dreamed about ordinary things, Neil dreamed about flying. He built model airplanes and spent hours studying how aircraft worked. His passion grew so strong that by the age of 16, he earned his pilot's license. Remarkably, he could already fly an airplane before he was legally allowed to drive a car. It was clear that the sky was not the limit for Neil Armstrong. It was only the beginning. Chapter 2. War in the Skies. After high school, Armstrong began studying aeronautical engineering. However, his education was interrupted when he joined the United States Navy. Soon, he became a naval aviator during the Korean War. Armstrong flew fighter jets in dangerous combat missions over Korea. In total, he completed 78 combat missions. Each mission required courage, focus, and extraordinary flying skills. During one flight, his aircraft was severely damaged by enemy fire. Part of the wing was torn off, forcing Armstrong to eject from the plane. He parachuted safely to the ground and survived. Experiences like these helped shape the calm, disciplined pilot that Armstrong would become. They also prepared him for challenges far greater than he could imagine. Chapter 3. The Test Pilot. After the war, Armstrong returned to college and completed his degree in aeronautical engineering. Soon afterward, he became a test pilot. Test pilots push aircraft to their limits, flying experimental planes faster and higher than ever before. It was one of the most dangerous jobs in aviation. Armstrong flew more than 200 different types of aircraft. He tested new designs and cutting-edge technology. One of the aircraft he flew was the rocket-powered X-15, capable of reaching the edge of space. These experiences made Armstrong one of the most skilled pilots in the world. His calm personality, intelligence, and technical knowledge made him the perfect candidate for a new and exciting program. The program that would soon send humans into space. Chapter 4. Joining NASA. In 1962, Armstrong was selected to join the astronaut corps at NASA. At that time, the United States was racing against the Soviet Union to explore space. It was a time known as the space race. Astronauts trained intensely for missions that had never been attempted before. They practiced spacewalking, spacecraft control, survival training, and complex engineering procedures. Armstrong quickly proved himself as one of NASA's most capable astronauts. In 1966, he commanded his first space mission, Gemini 8. During the mission, the spacecraft began spinning dangerously out of control. Most astronauts might have panicked, but Armstrong remained calm. Using his skill and quick thinking, he managed to stop the spin and save the spacecraft. His actions earned him tremendous respect within NASA, and they showed that he was ready for something even bigger. Chapter 5. The Apollo 11 Mission. In 1969, Armstrong was chosen to command one of the most important missions in human history. The mission was called Apollo 11 Moon Landing. The goal was simple but incredibly ambitious: land humans on the moon and bring them safely back to Earth. The crew consisted of 3 astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. On July 16, 1969, the massive Saturn V rocket launched from Florida. Millions of people around the world watched as the rocket thundered into the sky. After traveling nearly 240,000 miles through space, the spacecraft reached the moon. Armstrong and Aldrin entered the lunar module and began their descent toward the lunar surface. But the landing was not easy. The onboard computer began displaying warning alarms. The landing site was covered with large rocks. Armstrong took manual control of the spacecraft. With only seconds of fuel remaining, he carefully guided the lunar module to a safe landing. The spacecraft touched down. Armstrong's calm voice transmitted a message to Mission Control. The Eagle has landed. Humanity had arrived on the moon.
Chapter 6. One Small Step. Several hours later, Armstrong prepared to leave the spacecraft. Millions of people were watching the moment live on television. Slowly, he climbed down the ladder. Then he stepped onto the dusty surface of the moon. As his boot touched the ground, Armstrong spoke the words that would become one of the most famous quotes in history. "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." He and Aldrin spent about 2.5 hours exploring the lunar surface. They collected rock samples, conducted experiments, and planted the American flag. Meanwhile, Michael Collins orbited the moon in the command module above them. After completing their mission, the astronauts returned safely to Earth. They were welcomed as heroes around the world.